Insecurity is a normal emotion that we all experience, but it can negatively impact our romantic relationship. Feeling insecure may cause us to have unrealistic expectations or standards of our partner. Unchecked insecurity can cause us to act defensively in our relationship. Today, we're going to explore solutions to understand the root cause of our own insecurity and ways in which we can let go of unhelpful defensiveness. This will help us create more intimacy and connection with our partner. So let's dive in. We all want to feel secure and loved in our relationship, but how do we go about this? It's different for everyone. Some people feel insecure through certain acts of service, such as vacuuming or doing laundry. Others may feel secure through certain verbal expression, affection, or simply having quality time. It's simply a matter of taking time to understand what we need from our partner and from ourselves, and we want to be able to express that. Living in this fast-paced society, we often give too much to work or other commitments, but though we only have so much capacity, it's important to have enough time and energy for our relationship. This also means if you have small children or finding childcare or setting aside date nights to nourish your relationship, without taking time, these tips I'm sharing today will go to waste. In my opinion, the key component to building security in your relationship is resilience. According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, the resilience is defined by ability to recover from or adjust easily to misfortune or change. In other words, it's your own ability to adjust or go with the flow when you feel frustrated with your partner. The key factor to avoid in relationship is low frustration tolerance, LFT. Definition of LFT is simple. It's a low, limited ability to tolerate being frustrated. Basically, LFT means the opposite of resilience. Most relationship experts agree that the trait of resilience is the key to relational success. Let's say you're resilient in your relationship. That means you have more tolerance level with the stress, with the difficulties, and the process that you have to go through in order to make the relationship work. Because relationship takes time. With resiliency, we're able to respond constructively when there's a disagreement. We're able to attend emotional harmony when our partner feels frustrated. These are the positive qualities we want to bring to the relationship, and using our resilience, we can set a lot of positive examples. I like to share on one example of what it's like to have resilience in a relationship. Let's say Susie has a plan to cook a romantic dinner for her husband Joe, who spends the day playing golf with his friends. Before he leaves in the morning, the Susie asks him to pick up a couple items at the grocery store. Not only does Joe forgot to stop at the store, but his game also delayed by rain, and he arrives home 30 minutes late, let's say that. And when he arrived, Susie was very frustrated. However, she was able to put her frustration aside temporarily for the good of the relationship. Then after the dinner, she was able to safely share her frustration. And then Joe understood, and he was able to pick up the items tomorrow. I guess there's a right timing for emotional expression. I think it's important to see when is a safe time to express our feelings to our partner. People with LFT tend to either overreact or avoid or run away from small conflicts. And it's important to have a conflict because we reach a resolution. We are setting a good examples down the road. People with low tolerance level let small adversity steal their joy and confidence. They avoid compromise, and their behaviors can cause significant disturbance in their relationship. And when we express our frustration or our feelings too much or too suddenly, oftentimes we lose the opportunity to build that security. So we're gonna talk about actionable tools. Our insecurity is often rooted in our emotional reactions. And so in order to process our own feelings and associated reactions, I will encourage to follow these 5 tips. Tip 1, practice mindfulness by being aware of your emotions and your behaviors when there's a conflict. This means slowing down, taking a deep breath, stepping back, and being present and calm and instead of overreacting. Let's do a little exercise here. Try to think of some frustrating situations in your relationship. And now notice how you feel physically. What emotions coming up right now for you? Notice that. Again, just because you're feeling this way, that doesn't mean your relationship is bad or your relationship is not working. It's a feelings, it's a sensation. We don't want to identify with them too much. Let's simply notice the sensations and the emotions as they present in the body and the mind. It'll be helpful to write them down so that you can externalize the sensation and the feelings from you. But now we're gonna move on to tip number 2. Take responsibility for your own overreactions and frustration. Acknowledge your feelings. In other words, you're not responsible for what's causing your frustration. You're responsible for how you react to the situation, how you react to your feelings. So next time when you notice frustration, think through how you might respond appropriately instead of overreacting. Identify 3 LFT or killer bees. Replace them with 3 resilient beliefs. Oftentimes, the beliefs that we are holding, it can create more resilience or less resilience. The killer bees cause you to react to the frustration in your relationship. They create insecurity in our relationship. So resilient beliefs are important because they help us accept and forgive and maintain peace. The 3 killer bees that prompt almost all low frustration tolerance are catastrophizing, making a problem bigger than what it is actually. I can't stand it attitude. It kind of creates sort of the blocking belief that although it's tolerable, we are automatically going to the belief, I can't stand it. So we don't give time again to stand it and try it. And then lastly, perfectionist demanding things that unrealistically perfect. I encourage to identify killer bees that you notice in your relationship. Going back to Susie's situation, if she catastrophized, she would believe that Joe's late again. He doesn't care about my special dinner. He likes his golf buddies better than me. If Susie had a I can't stand attitude, she would probably immediately yell at him. She would refuse to serve dinner. If she had a perfectionist demanding, she would believe that he's late when I prepare for dinner. If she had a perfectionist demanding, she would believe that, oh, he's late again. No, I expect him to be on time. 1 minute late is not acceptable. We all have these killer bees to a certain extent, and we want to be aware of it because these beliefs happen unconsciously, and when that happens, we want to pull ourselves out of it. Okay, tip number 4. With this tip, it's important that you confront your killer bees by showing yourself through logic and data that are silly. This is called skeptical disputation. It begins by asking yourself the following question. Is this belief true or valid, and why? How do I react emotionally and behaviorally with this belief? Does it help or harm me? Would I be better off without this belief, and how so? Let's pretend that Susie is asking herself these 3 questions. Is my belief Joe likes his golf buddies better than me true, and why? The Susie's answer could be no. The believing that Joe doesn't care about our marriage, it can only create tension and pain, and I'm not better off with pain and the tension. So I think it's important to see how our own beliefs are harming us or helping us. So can we take a moment to look at your frustrating situation with your partner and answer these 3 questions? So take your time here. Tip number 5. Now that we become aware of this killer bees, low frustration tolerance beliefs, can we take a moment to create a new habits with your resilient beliefs? You can do this by creating a new belief against killer bees and mindfully rehearsing these resilient beliefs on a daily basis until they really sink in, until they become a part of your system. A new belief is affirmation you want to create to counter your killer bees, and it's important to practice. It's important to repeat the affirmation, these new beliefs over and over so that it makes sense to you, because sometimes we automatically, unconsciously going back to killer bees. So in order to counter that, it's important to practice the opposite. Going back to Susie's case, Susie's new resilient beliefs might look like, my husband enjoys his friends and he's committed to our marriage. Because just because he's running late, that doesn't mean he doesn't love me or care about me. I am grateful that he apologized to me. That means he cares about me. I am responsible for my feelings and actions. I strongly believe that love is about action. The way we act, the way we express, what we believe about our relationship can create insecurity or security. So what action, what beliefs you want to practice to help you feel more secure inside so that you can spread it externally? I'm not talking about big actions such as buying a house for your partner and taking luxurious vacation with your partner. You can simply practice a small acts of love and kindness by just listening to your partner, making eye contact, using softer tone of voice. And there are infinite amount of small actions that you can take to show how deeply you love your partner. Let's start somewhere. Let's start small and see how that goes to bigger things. So I hope that you found our time helpful. I hope that you found resilience, through this video, and do your healing every day.